Great Creator, source of all truth and life, I stand before you today as I truly am. Not a name, not a number, not a fiction, but a living woman born of the earth and spirit. My breath is yours, my soul is sovereign, my rights are unalienable. Wrap me in your peace as I walk into this place of judgment. Let no fear enter me, for I do not stand alone. You are with me, truth is with me, and the ancestors who walked in truth walk beside me now. Let the words I speak be clear and powerful. Let my presence remind even the judge that justice must answer to truth. Let the eyes that see me know I come in peace, but will not surrender my essence to false law or fiction. If there is deception, may it dissolve. If there is injustice, may it be exposed. If there is doubt, may your light pierce it. I do not seek war, I bring no hate, but I claim what is mine, my voice, my body, my soul, my right to live unbound, unowned, unbroken. Let the court be a place where truth is heard today, or let my presence alone serve as the living notice that the old world of silence and submission is ending. So be it. I walk in light, I walk in love, I walk in the power of who I am, and so it is.
Hello, it's Mark Attwood here, the Mark Attwood Show, Adventures in a Cosmic Suit. How's it going? Friday afternoon here, hair's all over the place, drinking a coffee. How are you? Just stay awake today. Stop slurping, Mark. No. So, sovereignty. That's the big subject. It's one of the big subjects, especially the last 5 years. And what is it? I spent a lot of money years ago launching myself as the sovereign entrepreneur. Spent a load of money on social media and then got emails from people going, "Are you a king?" And I was like, yeah, we're all kings and queens, aren't we? I mean, this has led to many things. My journey with it, like a lot of you, has been kind of a stop-start thing. I talked about this story quite a few times, stepping outside of the matrix when I learnt the sentence. I'll never forget the sentence, and I love sharing it. If you've never heard it before, it's a really good one to write down. I revoke your implied right of access to this property. Now please leave. That's what you say to bailiffs, people knocking on your door that have no right to be there. And it works. It worked for me with the TV license, I don't know, 13 years ago, something like that. But it's a long road. It's a long journey. Understanding how to live in the private, do business in the private. This is why if you click there's a link near this video somewhere called the Sovereign Mastery Course. Go and have a look at that. That was me, Gary Keeley, and Peter Wilson earlier in the year, I think, when we did that course, and it's well worth watching. But it takes a long time for it to sink in, and I think that's part of the reason why it's took a long time here. But there's a very interesting story I want to share with you today, because I have a guest called Yvonne Watson, who has, I believe, she'll straighten me out if I'm wrong. I believe it's the first time a woman has been recognized as a woman in court. What does that mean? Let's find out. Hi, Yvonne.
Hi, Mark.
Yeah. Tell on.
Tell on. Well, it's been a long struggle. It's been a hard journey. Started off this journey in about 2019, 2020, when I knew something wasn't right. And I think a lot of people woke up then. With me, it started with Trump and the Q movement and everything. And I still follow Q. But when I started to go down the rabbit hole more, because I've been down every rabbit hole you can imagine. And then I came across the utility companies and that. And the utility companies are only credit brokers. right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't own the gas and electric and whatnot. And in the council tax, obviously, they write their own summonses and everything for court. So basically, in 2020, the end of 2022 and 2023, I did the worst thing ever. I tackled every one of them at the same time.
Did you?
Every one of them. And
Did
I've been in court 7 times in 10 months. I mean, little old me, right? But I started it off. Well, I'm a living man. I'm not a living man. I'm a living woman,
Yeah.
right? What right have you? And where's the contract? And that's how I started it. Where's the contract and everything? And then obviously I got no answers to any of that. So I went down different routes. And then on this particular case, which was with Northumbria Water in Newcastle, at the last minute, I don't know why, at the last minute, I started off in 2023 asking this question. And so I thought, before I get to court, because we're taking us to court for a CCG, right? And I thought, right, why don't I go back to where I started? And something in my head, don't know if it was a divine or what, was saying, go down that route. The time is now. I don't think the time for me to go down that route was 2023. So long story short, after being for gas and electric and council tax and everything in the court, I go into court.
Well, before you get there, I'm just gonna ask you to slow down a little bit, because firstly, I'm gonna have a lot of Americans listen to this.
Right.
Who are gonna say, I don't know what she's
saying.
It's a Geordie
accent.
I know. I do. I've been to Northumberland a lot, so I'm all right with it. But I know.
Well, I thought I was speaking slow.
I know. I knew that as well. No, it's not. It's not just. I'm not. It's not just that. It's there's a lot of things to unpack there first before you get to the court.
Right.
Just to explain to everybody watching, a CCJ is a county court judgment. This is something that the county court will put upon you if they say that you owe money, and then they'll often that judgment will be used by bailiffs and debt collectors and law firms that do this kind of work. We call them bottom feeders for obvious reasons. And then they will use that as an authority to write horrible letters to you. And it's an automated process, and the letters get worse and worse and worse. They go from black ink to red ink. You know, that's why they used to write red ink in school, to make you scared of red ink. And and most people, 19%, I don't know what the percentage is, it was a high percentage of people capitulate with the letters because they get scared, and then they pay. But then they finally come to your door, and that's why you can use the sentence I said at the beginning. After you've done the work, you have to do. It's a spiritual inside job. What Yvonne is talking about is a deeply spiritual inside job. It's about reclaiming your power, your sovereign power, your rights, inalienable common law rights, natural law rights. That's what we're talking about. And what I think you said, Yvonne, is that you decided to go for 7. You went to court 7 times in less than a year.
Yeah.
Because you went to the utility companies, right?
Yeah.
So you went to water, gas, electricity.
Yeah. But I didn't approach it with the under the natural law thing, because they summoned me to court and whatnot. So I went under their jurisdiction. But on this particular case, I thought, no, I've got to go up there. I'm a living woman of flesh and blood, which I said in the court, under natural law, created by the divine. And I went in there with that statement.
Amazing. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So you actually got a court summons?
Yes, I got a court. Northumbria Water, they wanted to put a CCG, but obviously I rebutted that. I put me defence in. Then it went to mediation. Mediation didn't work, which they never do. And then they decided to take my case to the county court. So I put me bundle in.
Sorry, I thought I'd turn WhatsApp off. It keeps popping back.
I've just changed phones and I've lost me WhatsApp, all my messages.
There's a lot of gremlins. Sorry about that, everybody. Go on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So when I got the summons to go to the county court, I put my bundle in. Now my bundle was nothing about under the divine, the creator or anything. My bundle was about where's my contract, where's proof that Northumbria Water actually own the water? Because obviously they don't, and whatnot. So that was my first bundle, and then I had to think about it. And as I say, I get away with murder in these courts. I put in another bundle. I says, I've made a mistake on that one. Can I change it? So I put a new bundle in. This is for the same court case. So I put a new bundle in under the bills of exchange, because under the bills of exchange, I actually sent them. If you can hear noise, it's my dog snoring.
Yeah. I wonder what it was.
No, he's been really, really poor. He's just had a stroke and everything in the last 3 weeks. He got toxic poisoning. I don't know how. And then the week after that, which is why I haven't been so good, the week after that, he took a stroke. And then on Tuesday, just gone, he took really ill again. But I've got him on homeopathy now, and he's coming back.
Oh, good. That's good to hear.
So anyway, getting back. So I actually paid Northumbria Water using the Bills of Exchange Act, using the bank gyro credit. They didn't rebut it, and they didn't send it back. So if they didn't send it back, they still had my instrument. So therefore, until I received that back, which I said I was going to say in court, well, Judge, if that was a piece of gold or silver and I sent them that bills of exchange and they didn't accept it, why didn't they send us it back? So therefore, until they send that bit of gold and silver back, I can't pay them. So that was my head. I was going into court and I was going to do that. And then it must have been less than a week before I had the final date to put me bundle in. I came up with this. I woke up in the morning and within 2 hours, I wrote Northumbria Water a bilateral contract between a living woman and a corporation, right? And I give them notice. I give them 14, I think it was 14 days or 21 days notice to rebut it. But that time scale was still within the time of my court on the 6th of August. So that was so I thought, right, I'm going to do this, and I focused on that. Though this is the right way. Never mind arguing their jurisdiction. I'm going in there and I'm standing in my power. So that's what I did.
Okay. So what happened?
Right. What happened was, well, we've been a regular customer, you could say, of the county court in Newcastle. Everybody knows we're in the court, because whenever I go, I had a council tax case in June, and 36 people were allowed in my court case. It's never been known. 36 witnesses in that day. They were standing shoulder to shoulder in the courtroom.
And how did you get all them? Was that on Facebook or friends or family or what?
Well, I'm actually in my own local group where we actually deal with all of these. We deal with all of the bailiffs coming around people's doors and the debt collectors. You know, we're standing with power, and that they have all of these warrants what they're coming out with aren't signed warrants. They're only made up warrants, and they've got no jurisdiction over us anyway. But anyway, I'm in a group in the northeast, and we meet on a Monday. So there was quite a few there, and then there was people turning up from all over off the Telegram pages, because it just brought so much interest. Yes, so the judge actually said before the council tax case, Yvonne, if you're going to have an audience, if you're going to have a big support, will you let the court know first? I says, I certainly will. This was in another case. So I says, I certainly will. So he had 36 turned up, and he allowed 36 people in the courtroom. Yeah, I mean, where did health and safety go? Because when you go into the magistrates' courts, it's a case of, no, you're only allowed two in. There's only 2 seats for health and safety. They were shoulder to shoulder in this courtroom.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so when I go to court on the 6th of August, I goes into the building, just a court building, and my name, it wasn't on the board. And the security guy said, oh, Yvonne, you've got, because they all know with the security, they keep saying, what's happening now? What's happening? So they said I had to register. I had to go upstairs and register at the reception. Now, I believe the reason for that was because the judge needed to know what size court she needed, how many of it were attending, because some courts only very, very small. So anyway, we went into room 101. I knew it would be 101.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it actually 101?
I knew the courtroom would be 101 before I even stepped into the court. So we're waiting to go in, and I said to the usher, will you please give this statement of truth to the judge? And she says, no, I can't. You've got to do it. I thought, oh, well, right. So goes into court, and the judge comes into the room, and she says, this case is against Northumbria Water Limited versus Miss Yvonne Watson. And I said, excuse me, I'm not Miss Yvonne Watson. I am Yvonne Watson, standing here in flesh and blood, created by the divine under natural law. And she went, oh, interesting, and whatnot. So later, like, on that, I said, Mom, because obviously you don't call them judges because in natural law, nobody's above you, nobody's below you. So I didn't call her judge, and she accepted that. And she said, oh, well, that, I says, Mom, I says, what do you see me as? What, when you look at me, what do you see? And she put her nose, that glasses down. She went, well, Yvonne, I do see you as a woman, a living woman, of flesh and blood. And then she looked at all the 11 witnesses. I thought there was only 9, but when I looked at the photograph, what got taken outside the court, there's 11 of them. So anyway, and that's the 1-1 again. Mm-hmm. So she said, yes, I do see you as a living woman, and I see every man and woman in this courtroom is a living man of flesh and blood. Mm-hmm. So I said, can I have that on the record? She said, you most certainly can have it on the record. Yes, so she said, this case is very interesting. I think she knew, and you just got so, like, the vibes of her were amazing. So anyway, she said, well, it's a lot. How do you want me to address you? She says, because it's quite long, keep saying Yvonne Watson of flesh and blood. She says, is it okay to call you Yvonne Watson? I say, certainly is. Can you put that on the record? She says, I certainly can. So so then she says, I believe you've got a statement of truth. I said, I have. And she says, would you like me to read it out for you? Because I know you've got a speech impediment. Now, it could only be my previous judge I'd seen 4 times in the county court who had told her that. Like, I've never seen this judge before. So I said, no, ma'am, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. But I'm standing here, because I never sat, I stood. I says, I'm standing here in my power. I said, and I would like to say this speech, regardless whether I stutter or not, I'm going to say it.
Brilliant.
So she said, so I got my statement of truth out, and I actually read it. And she says, may I have a copy of that? And I actually approached the bench. Now, nobody approaches the bench, does it? So I actually approached the bench and gave her it so she could keep it. So then she was asking so I said, I can't leave the court now because you've acknowledged I'm flesh and blood. And she says, well, you oughtn't to. You can stay. It would be interesting if you stayed. So we'd already getting the formalities out that I didn't come under the jurisdiction, because she made it plain. Under this court, I'm a judge under the civil justice system. You are natural woman. Yeah, natural law. So I stayed, and then she says, but do you use the water, Yvonne, in your property? I says, I do, ma'am, but I don't drink the water. It's only good enough to flush the toilet. And she just smiled, and she went, yes, but do you use the water? I says, as I say, it's to flush the toilet. I use a water distiller. I said, and then I had 2 guys out from the Northumbria Water to check me water. And when they did, I said, they came with rubber gloves on, a mask on, and whatnot. I said to them, you're checking my water and you're covered up like that, and you expect me to drink it. And then I made them look what was at the bottom of my distiller. Oh, the gunge. So anyway, she took note of that. And then she says, well, under my jurisdiction in this court, I have to make the judgment. Now, is there any reason why you think that you don't, why these costs shouldn't be awarded? And I said, because I don't come under the justice. I'm not the legal dead entity. I'm not the legal fiction of Miss Yvonne Watson. I said, so it doesn't apply to me. She said, no, but I'm a judge under the civil. What she was saying was, regardless of who if it, under her jurisdiction, she still had to award the cost to Northumbria Water, but it didn't affect me because I'm not that legal fiction. And I felt like saying you can put £5,000 on it if you want, because it's not getting paid, because you've actually accepted I'm a living woman and I haven't got a contract. And so I said, well, and also I said, I've give Northumbria Water a bilateral contract as a living woman, and they haven't rebutted it. So she went, Northumbria Water, have you received this contract? And I went, yes. And they haven't rebutted it. So obviously silence is acquiescence, isn't it? Yeah. So she actually knew all of this. So she says, now, Yvonne, think, is there any other reason why I shouldn't award these costs? And Mark, it wasn't until the next morning I said, she was hand feeding me, she was spoon feeding me, and I didn't get it. If I'd gone down under the legal fiction, even though I've been accepted as a living woman, if I said, oh yes, but I handed in the bills of exchange and I haven't received it back, no costs or anything would have been awarded because they didn't follow it. But I didn't. I don't know. I had a brain lapse. But anyway, before she made her judgment, she said, I want to have a chat with you after this. Now, I'm going to include Northumbrian Water into this chat after this. Northumbria Water, would you like to join in? And they said, no, definitely not. Right. So she says, well, I have asked you, because I am very interested in Yvonne's case. So they said no. So she awarded the cost. She dropped the costs of the court case on that day, £59. Don't know why, but she did. And she said, right, costs awarded to Miss Yvonne Watson against Northumbria Water. On behalf of Northumbria Water. So I thought, well, fair enough, because she knew I wasn't going to pay them. So then she came down off her bench and she walked over to me, right? Because I didn't sit at all. She actually said, Yvonne, you can take a seat because I know you're disabled. And I went, no, I'm fine. I'm standing here. Yeah. And she came over to me in front of everyone and she said, Yvonne, may I give you a hug? And she gave me a hug and she went, you are inspirational. And then she gave me Mackenzie friend Claire. She gave her a hug. And then I said to her, Ma'am, I says, just before we entered this courtroom, I said, I wrote a prayer. I says, and every one of us said the same prayer. And she says, oh, may I see it? I said, yes, I've got a copy here. And she read it and she says, that is beautiful. She says, may I keep it? And I said, yes, you may. Right. So I said, I've even got a copy for the judge who I used to see all the time. I've seen him 4 times. I said, would you give a copy to him, please? She says, well, yeah, I don't often see him, but I can put one in his docket if you want, in his docket. I said that would be very nice, because that judge will know it's come from me, because I've actually been in touch with him after the council tax case, which was another case with this judge where he started off seeing the light, but then he didn't do the right thing. And because I had his private email, which I don't know how I was given it, and I'm of the belief, if I'm given something, I'm given something for a reason. So I thought, why have I got this judge's personal email? That's why I've got to tell him he's not going into the light. He's going in the dark. So I actually wrote him a lovely one. It was filled with love, mind you. There was no hate or malice in it. I just said, why did you change? In fact, my very last words to him were, right. I put in, I thank you for your initial openness in January, but I urge you now, not in challenge, but in conscience, to step into the light and do what is right. This system is changing, whether through people or through time, and those who align with the truth will be remembered long after titles fade.
Whoa.
It was a lovely letter I wrote him. I just told him the truth, but I haven't had any response. I didn't expect any. So when I wrote this prayer, I wanted him to have this prayer. So
could you read the prayer for us?
The prayer, yeah. Great Creator, source of all truth and life, I stand before you today as I truly am. Not a name, not a number, not a fiction, but a living woman born of the earth and spirit. My breath is yours, my soul is sovereign, my rights are unalienable. Wrap me in your peace as I walk into this place of judgment. Let no fear enter me, for I do not stand alone. You are with me, truth is with me, and the ancestors who walked in truth walk beside me now. Let the words I speak be clear and powerful. Let my presence remind even the judge that justice must answer to truth. Let the eyes that see me know I come in peace, but will not surrender my essence to false law or fiction. If there is deception, may it dissolve. If there is injustice, may it be exposed. If there is doubt, may your light pierce it. I do not seek war, I bring no hate, but I claim what is mine, my voice, my body, my soul, my right to live unbound, unowned, unbroken. Let the court be a place where truth is heard today, or let my presence alone serve as the living notice that the old world of silence and submission is ending. So be it. I walk in light, I walk in love, I walk in the power of who I am, and so it is.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I've got a few tears in my eyes now.
I just knew it was the right way in the right time.
Wow. Did you write that?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Can we put it under this video for people to read?
How do I do that?
Just email. Is it written on a computer?
It's just on a piece of paper.
I thought it might be.
I'm not computer minded.
I know.
I'm not technical.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful, Yvonne.
I can forward it on your email. I can do that much.
All right. Wow, that's just amazing. Sorry to interrupt the show, but I'm here in my car on a beautiful sunny day in lovely Ireland, and I just wanted to say to regular viewers of my show, you'll know that over the last 5 years I've tested probably over 1,000 different health products and modalities to try to get us through the COVID psyop, but also to help us enhance our longevity towards health sovereignty. Now, out of all the things that I've tested, there are a number of things that I use on a daily basis. And for the last 3 years, you will never see me without one of these on the back of my neck. I can't actually, if you can see it there. It's on the back of my neck. This is a Lifewave X39 patch. Well, this is actually not a patch. This is the sleeve that it comes in. This is an X39 patch, okay? This thing, you just stick on the back of your neck. And what it does is it reflects the light coming from inside your body back inside your body. So it reflects the light coming out of you back into you, but at a frequency that achieves a certain thing. They have a large range of patches that do different things, from helping you sleep better to helping you recover from pain or from exercise pain. This one in particular, the X39, is my standard thing that I wear every day. And the reason for that is because this stimulates the production inside your body of copper peptides. And copper peptides in turn stimulate stem cells. Now, I am 56 this year, and I've got more energy than my teenage kids who I'm on the way to pick up. Why is that? Well, structured clean water is part of that. A mainly carnivore diet is part of that. I do have access to things like hyperbaric oxygen and red light therapy at our healing center at live5dhealth.com. But actually, I don't use them very often because I'm a workaholic. But these patches have not left my neck since I first discovered them in 2022. And I am convinced that my eyesight is better, my teeth are stronger, my arthritis has disappeared, my hair is thicker and longer. Look, there's a ponytail here. Sex drive is better. So many things are better, and I'm convinced it's because of these. If you're not convinced by me, go to theMarkAttwoodShow.com and search under Lifewave or stem cells. You'll see that I've done numerous interviews with numerous people giving their testimonies about Lifewave patches,
from all over the world. So go and have a look at those if you're not convinced. I'm going to put some QR codes on the screen. One is for the Lifewave patches themselves, which you can go and get online immediately. They are not the cheapest thing in the world. I do think they're actually less than a cup of coffee a day if you wore one a day. But and I understand that doesn't stretch everybody's budget, but they also represent an amazing sovereign business opportunity. You can get paid for recommending these if you try the patches and you sign up to the other QR code, which is the business opportunity page. That will put you in touch with Cheryl. Cheryl works with me in the States, and she will talk you through the process and show you how to do it. All you've got to do is share a link and give your testimony. This is the way we bypass Google, we bypass press, national TV, mainstream media to grow this business, which is currently $1 billion business. It has grown leaps and bounds since 2020 because of the need of people like us who are awake, who want to sustain themselves and get through this time period so that we can get through to ascension in one piece. That's what it's all about. Freeze the video if you need to get onto the QR codes. Go to those links now. That's all for now. I hope you enjoy this message and you enjoy Lifewave, and I'll see you soon. Enjoy the show. Back to me in the studio.
I don't know
Yeah,
what to say about
but I don't know whether this judge, because after she was only speaking to us for a couple of minutes, she obviously wanted to speak more. Oh, another thing she said, when she acknowledged that we were all living beings, our last little quote was, and I see no bots or robots in the room. I thought,
She
what a
said that?
strange. Yeah, I see no bots or robots.
I mean, who is this woman? I mean, this is
She
crazy.
had amazing. Honestly, it took me that was on the Wednesday. It took me till the Friday to realise that this woman, this beautiful woman, had took the shackles off me. She made me free.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
you took them off, really.
Well, I took them off. But what's that saying? What did Trump say in his inauguration? I'm giving the people the power back to the people. But people have to get it, claim it back. I've claimed mine back.
I've got goosebumps all over me. That is just amazing. And it's interesting because I interviewed a lawyer last night from the Northeast. I did that sovereignty course with Peter from the Northeast. It's interesting.
Yeah.
The Jarrow Marches come to mind. Wow. What was is it? Can you do you know why she did this?
I think she freed herself. I do. I think she wasn't only freeing me; she was freeing herself, and that was. I truly believe that she did the right thing because she knew it was the right thing to do, and she'd been a county court judge for many years, many a year. Yeah,
Wow.
so
This is a very good sign, isn't it?
yes, but do you know how you get we're at the stage now we are getting the court judgment. The court judgment isn't worth the piece of paper it's on. It's not signed by a judge. There's no recognition of what happened in the court. But had it been only me in a courtroom with the Northumbria Water and the judge, right, I don't know, this story wouldn't have made it because nobody would have believed it. But because she did it in front of 11 witnesses, all 11 witnesses have all signed, a statement of what they've seen, what they heard, in their truth as well. So then when she was talking to us, she got a knock on the door, how the judges come in from the back of the room, or the front of the room, I should say. She got a knock on the door and she had to leave. So she said to her, whilst we are talking, do you want the recording left on or off? And I said, leave it on, please, because we've got nothing to hide and we're standing in with truth. And she left it recording. And that's when she got a knock at the door and she had to leave the room. And
who was knocking at the door?
Somebody from behind the door. So you asked for that one. Yeah. So somebody was knocking at the door and she had to leave. And she even made like a joke about, it'd be great to meet up in the Five Swans pub opposite the court. She knew we'd come from that pub to go to court because that's where we meet. And she said, it'd be good to have a chat with us in the Five Swans. So I was just, It was amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing. That's beautiful.
Yeah, but I don't know whether she'll still be a judge.
Sounds
What
like she probably won't be.
No, it definitely does. In the court order, which I've received, as I said, isn't where's the piece of paper it's written on. There's one line on it. There's no mention of a judge, no signature of a judge, no mention of anything in court at all. So I've actually returned it because it was addressed to Miss Yvonne Watson in full capitals, and I said, "There's nobody here by that name." Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have paid the money to get the transcript. Now, will the transcript come through? That's another question, because the judge has to authorize the transcript. Now, if she isn't there, will it authorize for the transcript to be done?
That'll be interesting.
So it's an interesting case, and now it actually frees me from any utility company, any council tax or whatnot. They have to sign my bilateral agreement. It's called gap jurisdiction, which I've just found out. So to bridge that gap, there's got to have a signature from a living woman or man, right? Not a corporation can't sign a contract with a living woman.
Correct.
So it's not going to happen, is it?
No, it's not. It's
No?
it's beautiful. And you know the statement of truth that you read out in the court?
No, I haven't read that out yet.
No, but you read it in the court.
Yeah.
Could you read that out for us?
Yeah.
Thanks, Yvonne.
Statement of truth to be entered into the record, which the judge did. I, Yvonne Watson, proclaim that I stand here as a living woman of flesh and blood, created by the divine under natural law. I hold unalienable rights granted by the Creator that no man, institution, or court can lawfully remove or override. I appear today only to state my standing and to establish the truth. I do not submit to any presumed corporate or statutory jurisdiction. I live in honour, I follow natural law, I cause no harm, loss or injury to any living being, and I honour every agreement I knowingly make. No other being is authorised to sign or act on my behalf. Therefore, I require Northumbria Water Limited and this court to prove lawful jurisdiction over me, a divine living woman. Also provide evidence of a valid agreement lawfully entered into by me with full consent that grants Northumbria Water any lawful claim. Without proof of jurisdiction and a valid agreement, there is no lawful claim. Any presumptions or instruments attempting to bind me without my consent are rebutted and void under natural law. I require this matter to be dismissed unless such proof is produced. This testimony is true. Given in peace and honour, I stand by it fully, and so it is. Yvonne Watson, the living woman.
Perfect. If you guys watching this are on Substack, there will be a transcript of this whole video. It automatically does it. If you need to go, I'm just saying that some people want to.
I was trying to be posh.
No, you were brilliant. I'm just saying they want it written down, and then they can go and read it as well. Because that is now a lot of people watching this, Yvonne, are going to go. How they're going to be typing now? How did you have the courage to do it in the first place?
Because I took away my fear. I lost my fear. I don't know what day it is, but I know the day it happened. I should have marked down the date. I came walking down my steps and I said, I'm free. In fact, I actually said to myself, I'm going home. And I thought, how did I say that? I'm going home. And then it got us on to thinking, I'm going home. So was I put here for this reason? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I mean, going back to my journey, right? I've gone against all of the corporations. I've had my electric meter stolen. I've been without electric. I've stood in court against them, against all of the bailiffs. I've gone against the council tax. I won on that. And I mean, where did I get this knowledge from, little old me? I've just been guided every step of the way. And as I say, every time I put something into the courts, I've got to stick my hand up like a school child. Excuse me, but I've made a mistake. Can I put another one in? Yeah. But I must admit, I've had some great friends around us for like support and everything. Everybody's been absolutely amazing. Yeah.
You see, for me, this is the front line. You know, when stories like this are so important for empowering everybody else. There was did you hear about the woman in Ireland who I can't remember her name, and I apologize if she's watching, but about during the lockdown, she got called into court for not wearing a mask. She refused to wear a mask. She wouldn't wear one in the court. And she just said to the judge, "I answer only to God." And he put her away.
Yeah. Well, I must admit, on the morning of the court, I dropped my dog off at my daughter's, and I said to her, like half jokingly, I said, "If I don't come back, don't worry, because I might get contempt of court." When my daughter panics like that, "Hey, ma," I says, "No, don't worry, because I'm willing to go to court for that. I'm willing to go to like have contempt of court, but I just knew I wasn't getting contempt of court. I don't know how. I just knew, and I wasn't going to like renege on it or anything. I was going in there, and I dressed all in white. I just felt, like, no, it had to be done, and if not me, who?
Yeah.
And I felt so strongly about it. Who are these people? Who are these corporations? You know, bleeding everybody dry. How do people afford these bills and that when they're only credit brokers?
Yeah.
That's all they are.
Well, let's go a bit deeper into that for people watching this who don't know this. So, how many corporations have you been in a fight with? And what you just said is a very important point. They're credit brokers. The water companies don't own the water. The electricity companies, I don't think they even produce the electricity.
The transporters, no, the traders. Sorry, traders. Yeah,
they're traders. Yeah,
yeah, because it's the national grid, and the national power grid in this area. It's the gas networks. Now, if you phone those up and say, "Can I pay you for the gas and electric I'm using?" they say no. So that's where the utility companies come into play there. Yeah.
And they're just transporters and credit brokers.
The traders. That's what. Yes, on the company's house, they're known as trading. Yeah. So unless you've actually signed up, right, with them, that's given your consent when you've asked them to be a supplier, right? Therefore, that's how they can bill you. But they don't give you a bill anyway. They give you a statement. Nobody will ever send a bill to you with like an invoice with a signature on or anything. They send you a statement. But I was with Shell Energy, and this was in 2022. And then I decided I didn't want to be with Shell Energy, and I asked them to send me a final bill. And to this day, it's still with the Ombudsman, because Octopus took over, and Octopus started saying that I had a contract with them, and I never did. So Octopus Energy sent the bully boys around, Haste Limited, and because my electric meter was outside, they said it was unsafe, and they stole my electric meter. But then the gas board came, and the gas board certified me gas meter safe and sound. So would the electricity. So that's how I got on the road there. But now Octopus Energy, I'm still in with the Ombudsman because I need a final bill from Shell Energy. So that's where it went for that. And the council tax I stopped paying there as a living woman, a living man. As I say, all of it, I've done a full circle again. But then they weren't having any of that. So I went, where's the obligation? Where's the proof? And it ended up where they were trying to put a charging order on my property. Now, in 2018, which again is, I believe it was the divine intervention. I believe this really. I wasn't awake in 2018. 2018, I made a trust, and it was just like what the elites do. Yeah, everything, right? I didn't know. In fact, until I went to court, I didn't even know what my trust had in it. But in 2018, I made that. So what they're saying, you're going to have this, Yvonne, because in the future you're going to need it. So that meant that the council couldn't put a charging order on the property because it wasn't mine, because it was I'd sent it away as a deed of assignment over to the beneficiary. So so the council tax couldn't win either on us. Yeah. So now Octopus Energy can't come for us because it's still in the ombudsman's case. So that's quiet. And now Northumbria Water realise that I'm a living woman and not a dead entity. So it's been a hard journey, up and down, up and down.
I can tell that. Did you ever claim back did you ever pay by direct debit and claim that back as well?
I tried to, but Lloyds Bank wouldn't give us it back. Wouldn't
they?
No, that went to the ombudsman, but we know the ombudsman, what side the ombudsman works for. So no, but I did try that. It's just I've got loads of different ways of doing it now, because by being recognised as a living woman and whatnot, I could actually try to claim back everything what I've paid since I started paying bills since I was 18. But I think because the judge, I know I've got 11 witnesses, but because the judge hasn't actually the judge hadn't written anything, there's no judge written it. It came from the National Business Centre, the judgment, so that proves what it is, business centre. Yeah. So, but I'm quite happy now. All I need now is for my little dog to get better.
Well, I want to help the dog now, but I've got to stick to the subject because
I know.
No, I've got these amazing mushrooms for pets that cured my cat like that. I did a show about it 6 months ago. I'll see if I've got any spare for the dog. I'll have a look. Where was I? So, for people watching this, Yvonne, how exactly did you learn all of this stuff? And the reason I'm asking, and the reason I said, we did a course with Peter on this, because it's taken me years to get my head around it. And it's only when you're actually put in the situation, and you kind of, when you put yourself in the situation, as opposed to waiting for it to come to you, didn't you?
Yeah, put it this way, I've lost lots of friends.
Oh yeah, go on. Tell us about that.
I've lost a lot of good friends as well. I mean, even me family thought that I should be like sectioned because every rabbit hole I went down.
Yeah.
So I have been on this journey on my own. I started on my own, but the amount of people I've never met personally, but I speak to and whatnot from other areas of the UK has been amazing. And then how we all formed this group. We were all strangers forming this group. Yeah. But I've gone down every rabbit hole. I know about every single thing. Pizzagate, the tunnels, you name it. I've been down everything, but I just can't get enough knowledge now.
Well, this is the thing, and what was interesting. We set up. I don't know if you know, we got a healing centre here, and we set it up as a private members association. And and when we did that, we had a little event, and Peter Wilson came along from Northumberland, and Peter said he'd been teaching people this for years, and we were the only ones that he knew that had actually done it. And I was like really surprised. I was like, really? Are we? Because there's a big difference between learning this stuff and actually doing it. And the thing is, like you said, you got rid of your fear. And I remember the thing I said when the bailiffs came to me for the TV license years ago. I was, I tell the story. I had the phone out, but I was shaking.
Oh, I've been there 100 times. Yeah. I've got a great big trespass sign on my door. I told the police, yes, are trespassing in that, but they didn't take any notice at all. None of them do. But now I'm so good at writing one letter and toodaloo, off the go. But getting back to your healing centre and whatnot. I've always been into natural remedies and everything in homeopathy. I forgot about homeopathy until my dog took sick, so I'm back into it again. But I've got the red light therapy, 4 great big red lights and that, which help me and my dog and everything. I like to do a bit meditation, even though I don't think I'm doing it right. But
there is no right.
And I walk around like the field just outside of this in bare feet, and everybody thinks I'm mental. And they keep saying, "You must have been a hippie." And I says, "No, I wasn't a hippie."
Yeah. It's the same as me. Yeah.
Yeah. I drink out of my copper cup, and I said distill me water. I use all natural ingredients. I grow my own veg in my pots instead of flowers and whatnot. I've just totally changed. And anybody who's listening to this who knew me 5 or 6 years ago be saying, "That's not Yvonne Watson."
Yvonne, it's amazing. It's just an amazing story, and you're an amazing example. And they'll all be knocking at your door next, saying, "Can you help me do it?"
Well, it cost them £5,000 per hour in my contract.
Bargain.
I don't know why I was chosen for this. I really don't.
I don't know why I was chosen to do this. I'm an idiot,
No.
But there you go. We are God's children, aren't we? And it's what's in your heart that matters.
That's it.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Amazing courage, an amazing inspirational story for everybody watching this. Stand in your power. That's what it's all about, and it's
stand in. That's exactly. Lose your fear. These are corporations. How can you contract with a corporation, with a building? You just can't.
No, a dead entity cannot have a contract with living flesh and blood.
Yeah, not unless they do a bridge contract, like a gap contract, a bilateral contract, and then they have to set out their terms and conditions. But it's still got to be the living man who signs it off the corporation. So will that living man take liability for what he's actually signing for?
Well, this is the thing with the chat I had yesterday with Ian about the liabilities with the person that signs the letter or the email. And a lot of them don't know that until they get a notice saying, "Well, you're liable for this," and then they all back off because they don't want. It's like a hot potato. Then they just throw it around, don't they?
Well, I honestly don't know how it's sunk in with me, because I don't take anything in. But this, I just don't know. I was just meant to do this.
Meant to be. Well, will you come back on and update us when the next bit happens?
Yes. Yeah, I sure will. Yeah, thank you very much.
Especially if the judge, it comes and it's all signed off and everything. That'd be really interesting.
Wouldn't it be really good if you came on our side?
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know what you think, but I think they're all being offered this choice. All the police, all the judge, all the doctors, all the nurses, they're all being offered this choice by God constantly, and the clock is ticking, and there's never too late.
Yeah, well, it's a very strange thing, because up in Northumbria, police and whatnot, as you see, quite a few will turn up when the bailiffs turn up at the door, the debt collectors, and we actually put Northumbria police on notice that if they send their guys out aiding and abetting, right, they can, under the Criminal Justice Act 2015, Section 26, they are liable up to 14 years in prison. And you know what? Whenever the bailiffs turn up now, they phone for the police, and the police don't turn up. So we're getting there.
Well, that happened with me. The police turned up here when somebody tried to deliver a parcel, and then he said, "Oh, you've got to give me €100." And I went, "What for?" "I've already paid for this. I've paid for the import duties." "What for?" And he said, "I don't know." I said, "But you got to pay it." And then he went to ring his bosses, and as he was walking back, he'd left the parcel, and so I just took it and I said, "This is mine. Go away now." And then he rang his boss. Then the bosses rang the police. The police came round. And they said, "What is this?" And I said, "Well, have you got a receipt for this?" I said, "Yeah." And I showed them the receipt. I said, "Well, this is a civil matter." I went, I know. They've just wasted your time. You should be suing them.
Yeah.
But none of them know it.
No, the police haven't got a clue. They don't know the law. They don't know the law at all. So what we have on our pack, you could see if anybody rings it, saying there's somebody at the door. we have copies of that Criminal Justice Act to give to the police and say, be very careful what you're going to do here. Read that. And they don't even know that act exists.
No, I know that. I mean,
Uh-huh. So
I'm-
then off the go, and that leaves the bailiffs with no other choice but to get in the van and go away because they haven't got the backing of the police.
and there's
Unfortunately, it's not happening in lots of places in the country though. But it is up on our little area.
Well, it's because they are incredibly heavy-handed and intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, you know, they won't take no for an answer until it's really shoved in their faces, and because they don't know the law either. They think that they have the right to do what they do.
As you see, it's a handy piece of paperwork to have in your hand if they come knocking.
Right, you got the spirit of the North. You see, that's scary. I mean,
it must be something in the water.
I was going to say, for those of you watching who've never been to Newcastle, the women walk around in miniskirts and t-shirts at -5. I've been there. They're tough.
That might have been in my day. It's not now.
Was it not? Well, it was last time. 30 years ago.
Yeah, it used to be, but I don't know what it's like now. But yeah, that's what they go around in. Nothing.
Yeah, I know. In freezing cold. It's been lovely speaking to you, Yvonne. And
yes, same here.
Any updates and emails you can send me, and I'll put them near this video.
Yeah,
and,
I'll send you copies of the prayer and this statement of truth.
That's lovely. If you can, that'd be brilliant. Just take a photo and email it. And you have a lovely weekend, and I hope your dog gets well soon.
Oh, he's on his homeopathy now.
Well, good.
I took him off all of the vet's pharmaceuticals. They wanted to put him on tramadol. He's only 2.5 years of age.
Oh my God.
I said, you've got no chance. And then they said, well, they don't like gabapentin. I says, gabapentin should be totally destroyed. I says, what it causes in humans, never mind in animals. So for the last 2.5 days, he's been on me homeopathy, and he's perking up.
Good. Well, you know, they come after the pets as well as us. So,
yes. Yeah. Okay, then. So I'll keep you posted.
Thanks, Yvonne. Have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for watching.
And you too. Right. Thanks, Mark. Right. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.